Good evening to all students, parents, fellow teachers, all. I would like to take a moment to introduce to myself, Alan Fisher. Some of you may have heard of me. I doubt it, but you may. I've been working for about 4 months now on the Preply platform, or Preply, however you say it, as an online teacher, but I've got quite a long teaching background, just not in the online form. I would like to show you and introduce you today to the amazing IBIS system. This is something I've developed partly as a labor of love, partly out of necessity. I started 3.5 months ago, perhaps longer, with 4, 5, maybe 6 students, and my memory was ample to remember all of their details. But then as I grew to 15, to 20, to almost 30, I have had some students leave as they were only on short courses, and some went to school, to new countries, to new jobs that they were preparing for that. I couldn't keep a track of everything. So IBIS came into being. IBIS is Intelligently Building Interactive Study. It is a completely comprehensive and detailed system that will allow us to keep track of everything that we need to accurately manage and keep a tab on our students to make sure we're giving them feedback, whether we're giving them updates, and that we're aware of every aspect of their learning journey. As you can see, we have multiple cards here with each with a separate feature. All these features come together in a whole. We have the student management system, which I will show you now. The student management system is basically my dashboard. It shows me how many students I have. It shows me how many classes per week they take each on average. How many of them are new? I need to update this. How many are showing improvement? How many are on the hybrid grammar and conversation courses? And how many of them are learning for work purposes? It gives us some lovely donut charts which breaks down their level. As you can see, the majority of them are either intermediate or conversational. It also breaks down their goals. It breaks down their type of course they're doing. As you can see, I'm pretty much 50-50, with one more student doing a hybrid course than doing conversation. The reason they wish to study. And we also have the ability here to add in new students with drop-downs for the reason, their goal, their course type, and the improvements they're looking to have. We have here as well our students and a summary of the number of students and the number of lessons they have, their level, their age, their nationality, the reason for the study, the goal, their improvements, their course type, and the ability to delete that student if they cease to be an active one, where they'll join my Excel spreadsheet archive. Okay, after that, we additionally have a way of keeping track of our lessons. There is a system of this. We have our lesson analysis form. We have our lesson log. We have our monthly lesson log. We have a lesson summary. The lesson summary goes to the student. This has the title of the class that we just had. We fill out in detail, as much as we like, what the class was about and which topics it touched. We have the subject, which is obviously English, their name, the date the class took place, any personalized message we want to give the student to keep up their spirits, the sections, and the things we learned in the lesson, which we can add to or remove. Oops, testy. See, we can add a new segment. We can delete segments. We have the progress metrics, and I will get back onto how we obtain these shortly. But it gives the time I speak, the time my student speaks, the total words the student spoke, the total new words they used. We then have a feedback section, which allows us to break that down by grammar, pronunciation, vocabulary, and by fluency. We can put a personalized message in there. We can break down the particular point especially regarding grammar or vocabulary. We can add and we can remove these equally. We can remove with a little dustbin, or we can add using the plus symbol here. We also have at the bottom a vocabulary section. Now we can add or remove vocabulary words here, and we can do a number of formats. We can put the word and its definition. So adding that there, we can add the word and put it in the student's native language if we know it. Or we can just put the word in as it is. We can then, using the lovely pink crosses, delete whichever words we want. Then we export this to a PDF file and send that PDF file to the student. But we have the absolute master class here, which I would love to share with you. This has taken a lot of work to produce, but we're going to produce it. I will show you what we call the pièce de résistance, which is what we call, I have a built-in Chrome app that I use, or a Chrome extension, which records the audio from the lessons. Of course, I need to obtain the student's permission to do this, and have done so with those that I am currently trialing this with. This is effectively an agent, which I can't show you the drop down with this particular layout that I have, and to be honest, I'm not technical enough to actually show it, but when I select the drop down, I get to this. This gives me a choice of transcription service. I use OpenAI Whisper, and I will be honest with you. Use it too. You are going to pay between $12 and $16 for the student side of an hour-long lesson. You have to get an API key. If you need to know how to do that, ask me. You can also choose between the languages, between English, Spanish, French, German, Italian, Portuguese, Russian, Chinese. I am afraid I don't know any particular dialect. Japanese, I do not know the dialect either, nor Korean do I know the dialect. Your transcript appears here. You then save it as a text file, and you're done. Now, where does this go, Alan? I hear you all asking me. I understand it is something you're keen to hear about. So, I will show you. So first of all, this is in production at the moment. This is our lesson feedback form. This is the absolute, shall we say, canine ganglia, to be accurate here. So I have a sample transcript. Please don't look too hard. I won't put my students' details above for their privacy. You put the transcript in. I am currently working on having that a little bit more broken down, but for now, it will, once you put the transcript in, you can scroll down and you see their lesson insights. You see the total amount of words they spoke, the total unique words they used, the diversity of their vocabulary, the amount of filter, ums, ahs, well that they used, how much vocabulary they used was complex, and how many complex words they repeated. And down here, you see the complex words they have used. It doesn't currently give them a definition, but if you're an English teacher, you should be able to provide a definition, I would imagine. Part of this that I was mentioning earlier we can refer to is a speech data import. So we have here their average pace, their average confidence, the long pauses they make, the dominant tone, which can either be balanced, bright, or warm, and their pronunciation score. So at the moment, this guy is one of my more advanced students. 0.8 is good. You also get to keep this part. So this information will go into my lesson summary. I can put in here the amount of words, the advanced words. I can put the amount of time they spoke for and the amount of time I spoke for. At the moment, I can only record their side, not both. Apparently, it's a limitation to Google Chrome. If anyone knows a way around that, I would be glad to hear it. So, where do we go from here? We also have the lesson analysis form, which is the one I'm showing you. This is the updated beta version. I'm just working some kinks out on. We also have a lesson log, which I use for my personal records. This is a more detailed dive. We have their name, their topic, the duration of the lesson, which has a drop down, allowing 30, 45, 60, 90, or 120 minutes. We have learning objectives. What were the goals for this lesson? We have the activities covered, which again, you can add or remove. Vocabulary, add or remove. Homework assignments, add or remove. Comments that I will make, observations on that particular lesson, and if the student at any point leaves a review or makes a comment, I will ask them to provide it. I don't go rating hunting, and it isn't automatic. I use this for my records. I will save it. I will put it in a folder on my computer. Because why? Well, first we have a monthly lesson log, which allows us to choose our month, our year, my name, student name, their overall progress for the month, the key focus areas for next month, the total lessons, total hours, average rating. We put our individual lessons in here, we add lessons as they are, we save it as a PDF, we put it away. We then come into our monthly learning report. This is something the student receives. We have primary learning needs, vocabulary development. We have the total amount of new months they have learned in the month. We have their strengths, which we can add to or edit. We can also change these graphs. If you see, the progress line can be up or down. We also have the weekly focus areas in here, which allows us to change it. Let's say I put that down, that this particular student has had a bad speaking month. It will automatically update. It will then feed across here for targets that we have for the following month, which we can add to. We have personalized recommendations that we can edit, and it has a lovely little template choice that we can tell them all kinds of topics we can choose from. We have recommended resources that if we add those, again, we have common sources that we can refer them to. We can then export this learning report as a PDF, save it in my folder, and then email the copy to the student. We also have a lot more on here that I would love to share with you. We have our report cards. When a new student becomes a permanent student, I'll potentially pick a no longer student. So we have their age, their nationality, the number of classes per week they take, their level, the course type they want, the reason they are studying, and their current improvement level. We can then, in their learning goals, put what they want to improve, what they want to achieve. We can put in here what they want to improve or what I think needs improvement. We can then put in notes. I put in here their background, their family, their pets, their job, any information they divulge to me during their trial lesson with me or their initial first lesson. That way I have their interest, the things they enjoy doing. So if they're a conversation student, I can pick topics to suit them. And we'll get onto that in a moment. So that is our report card. I file these away in an actual physical folder so I can refer to them when I'm planning lessons, which I normally do on a Saturday or a Sunday. We also have a new student registration form. This is a form where everything is editable. We can edit their name, their age band, their nationality, the amount of classes they would like, their level, which I determine through the course of the lesson, and If they say they're just starting, but they handle an intermediate level text and can talk about it, they go up to intermediate. They underestimated themselves. A hybrid course is text conversation and reading and comprehension and some grammar. We have a conversation course, which is pure reading, speaking, and listening comprehension. We have the reason for them wishing to study, the improvement that they are displaying. We have their learning goals, which I discuss in the first lesson or the trial, the areas they think they can improve and I think they can improve, and the notes, which, as I mentioned on the previous one, that is their interests, their backgrounds, the things they want, why they are looking to improve, what I think about their level. It all goes on here. Then we get to the fun parts. We have our ways to manage our students, to dynamically keep a track of them, and to know how they are progressing. Next, we have the tools to help them do that. We have, for our conversation students, we have a text generator, which will allow me, it won't work right now because I owe Claude money. Well, I don't, I have run out of credits and it runs off Claude in the back end. But you can choose their level, their age, the topics we want to cover, and we can choose from a narrative story, a factual article, a dialogue or conversation, or a descriptive text. We then hit generate, and at this time nothing is going to happen because Claude won't renew my credits until 10 p.m. this evening, so that won't work. So I'll ignore that. We also have a sentence generator because with some of our other students, they may want to have practice sentences for any topic. Any topic, we can provide them. So we have grammar points we can choose. Let's say past simple, present simple, present continuous, and conditionals. Generate the sentences. There we go. We have sentences. We can copy and paste these out and place them in a format we can interact with a student for. If we want passive voice, we'll get different ones. As you see, it's wonderful. But we have more. And this is my favorite part because I have a number of younger students, and as those of you who have taught younger students may know, they tend to require a little bit of encouragement. So we have a number of games, and I have some more I'm going to integrate into here later. This is the hub for everything that we can do. We have a sentence master, a word search, which I will show you. So this will generate word searches on different categories. We have animals, colors, food, verbs, nouns, adjectives, family, and weather. You have up the side the words to look for, and it's fully interactive. I can find one now to actually show you. Where is dog? There we go. So we have dog, we highlight it, it turns green, it crosses out. All fully interactive. Wonderful, isn't it? We also have a basic object hunt. We have a word cards game, which allows us to build sentences on different topics based on the cards we have here. So we can say, we will say, my mom. So, yeah, we don't drag them. I'm sorry, I forgot. So, we have the cat. Oops. My mom slowly is fast. There we go. Check sentence. Yeah, it's not right, but it fits the grammatical rules. So they can play with this. We can get new cards. We can clear this. So the dog slowly is happy. It's not right. Let's take slowly out. There we go. The dog is happy. Lovely. They get 3 points. You can see that gathers up here. Lovely game for them to play. Keep them occupied. I have an object hunt. I have a book. I have an adventure game which I've received good feedback about. This is basically like any of us older folks would remember, we have the choose your own adventure games. So we have a prompt that tells us where we are, and we have to complete a sentence in order to continue. So there is, I would say this one. No? Oh. Fair enough. Never mind. So you find something ancient map, something an enchanted compass that glows, something mysterious blue. So you find an ancient map, an enchanted compass, and a mysterious blue light. There we go. So it tells us what happens next. We go to the next part. We go back to games. We have 3 types to choose from, depending on what our student likes. We also have, this is silly, our dungeon adventure. What this does is, the graphics are a little poor, but we've got different things to click, and when we click so we can fight the spider, and it asks, we have to pass an adverb test. How do we move past the spider? Quickly. Spider's dead. We've won. Isn't it cool? So we close that down, and we've got more in there. We have adventure games, we have comparatives and superlatives, which is quite cool. When it loads, excuse me. So what we have to do here is pick the matching comparatives. So we've got smaller, smallest, and where is small? There. So we've matched them. So it's a card match game. Short, shorter, shortest. There's another one. We have 20 points. So this is making learning fun and a little competitive. And we also have my great friend here, the grammar helper. This is gold because with our younger learners, we have to make things fun. So we have here articles. It gives us a, an, and the examples. A memory trick, a before consonants, and before vowels, the when it's special. And a quick reminder of what to do. We can choose from anything present simple. We have you, we, and they, base verb, he, she, and it, base verb, negative, with does or does not. We can do present continuous with the different things happening now, and negative. It's all there for us to use, and I have some more little applets that I'm working on right now to add to this. There's a maze one, there is a hangman, there are all kinds, and we'll make this fun. I'll be working on these over the weekend, but I thought I would like to share with you my joys of IBIS. The IBIS is here. It is a central hub for everything you need to do to be an online teacher. Everything you need to monitor your students, everything you need to prepare your lessons and make your lessons more engaging. Anything you could possibly want is here, and I am prepared at this time. This is all browser based, so anyone can use this. No back end is needed, nothing fancy is needed. And if you are wanting to implement this, don't ask for complex things, but contact me. I will need a student list from you, and all I will do is put your student list in to replace mine, and from there you can go. It's as easy as that. The branding and the theme will not be changed, obviously, because this has been a couple of months of work. But if you're interested, contact me. I will also be including my website and my email address in the post this video will be with. But for everyone, thank you for listening. Thank you for taking the time. See you all again soon.